go through and
That's
go
okay.
after, or anything else
Well,
that
you
you found?
can do that spiel on the air. That way people know how our thought process works.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's important to be
Okay, you are
Consistent.
live.
it's important to be consistent and transparent with your candidates and things of that nature, especially if you're doing an interview, because the last thing that you want is like the up, down, left, right, and it changes direction every
Uh-huh.
single time.
Or the
Because
gotchas.
yeah,
Uh,
like I'm not here to like just go for the throat and go for the gusto. I actually want to hear from you, and so do our viewers, because we it is the WTF podcast. We call our viewers fuckers. Just fair thing. I'll try to refrain from swearing,
Okay.
but no fucking guarantee. Uh,
Mind your goddamn fucking language, Jake.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph, my language. I didn't realize that it became mine. Like there's the Queen's English, there's Jacob's English. Is that what it is now?
Yeah.
Well, I'm Jacob.
I'm Michael, and to my left is Mr. Matt Sadler running for District 5 Commission.
Thanks for having you guys. Yeah.
Thankfully, nothing against you, Matt, but thankfully the last candidate we're having on before the gosh dang primary.
I know. Aren't you glad it's almost over?
Exactly, because I don't want to push this any
Yeah.
any more candidates past this. If you are a candidate you want to be on, whatever, contact me. But I'm not seeking you out at this point.
No, it's more so that everyone's ready for the signs to go down
Yes.
for a little bit,
Yes.
and not because they got ran over or because the wind storm or they got graffitied by someone who had somebody judge against them, so to
Yes.
speak,
Yeah.
full-heartedly intended. All right.
Matt, we always start off with the who the heck are you and why do you want to run for this office?
Yeah. I'm born and raised, lifelong Nevadan, product of the public school system out here,
Uh-oh,
Father.
now.
businessman.
He might not
It's
know how
funny
to vote for
because-
himself.
Because a lot of that stuff, honestly, I could have the greatest bio, the greatest story. I grew up in the mud of Pahrump here. My grandpappy did this, did that. None of that really amounts to a hill of beans if we can't make things better.
I agree.
And I would not be ever going against a good, solid, principled conservative that would represent me. The fact that I'm in this race is just proof positive that it's to the point where I have such little confidence in anybody else that was coming to the forefront of trying to run for this office that I felt like I really had to do it myself. And I know you hear candidates saying that all the time. But the truth of the matter is I was looking for the last couple of years for someone to really get behind to make some changes out here.
I get
Because,
you.
yeah,
This is really hitting right on the nose.
is it?
I do actually live down in District 5, so it's one of those things where you see candidates and go up there and it's like, I really don't want to vote for this person.
Yeah.
And so seeing individuals that, come through and say, yeah, like, yes,
Yeah.
you mean we have options?
Yeah. And as much as I have my ear to the ground, I feel that people are unhappy with the current leadership out there. But when I see a crop of people rising up, and I'm thinking, my goodness, if this person gets in, it's going to be worse than we have. And then I start really freaking out. So that's in a nutshell, that's why I'm running. Bachelor degree, all that stuff can go out the window. I have that. I don't like talking about it because I feel like that's 3.5 years of my life that I could have been learning how to fix ACs or doing something constructive to actually
Fair enough.
start a business. And that's why my heart is in this community. We have kids growing up here that they're thinking their only outlet is either they got to go over the hill, move out of state, or they've got to maybe work for the government. And that shouldn't be how the stars are looking for our youths out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Sense.
so more pipe fitters, more mechanics, more electricians, maybe less liberal arts graduates like me.
Wow, so that's what your degree was in?
Well, psychology and political science, but
Okay, all right.
That
I'm
actually is useful. Yeah,
I'm qualified for a 2-minute segment on the O'Reilly factor in 2013. But
exactly.
he's no longer there anymore, so what am I going to do?
I'd get you on back.
Well, that is one of the questions that
I'll
we
take
have
it.
for that is qualifications for the position. It sounds like you really do understand what's going on in Pahrump right now, that you're close to the pulse.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's one of the pillars of why you're running is you're like, I felt that no other candidate really represents Pahrump,
yeah.
let alone Nye County,
Yeah, the
the way
South
that
Side.
you can.
Especially our neighborhood, because you're District 5, especially the south end. It seems like, we're the most populous district right now, and on pace to become even, larger proportionally in the county. And I feel like I'm still waiting years to hear back from my representative on emails, text messages, phone calls. They always say like I'm available 24 hours. You got my number. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
not
sort of like
very good if you don't
that,
answer it ever or return any calls.
that's sort of like the first sergeant on Friday night briefing when the first sergeant's like, "You guys got my number. If anything goes," like, no, 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 no. You need to find other routes first, and then
Right.
at the back end. But it's like if you're in this position
Mhm.
and you have constituents that want to be represented by you and need to be represented by you, you need to have some availability as well as some time to get back to them.
Yeah.
So that way you are representing them and not just your own interests.
Yeah, and then you keep an eye on when they are talking about meeting with people, who are they meeting with, match it up with who is giving them money, who's giving them donations, and then you see real quick who they're actually representing. And more often than not, it's going to be places elsewhere, not even in Pahrump that they're representing.
Not representation of you, but I'm still one of those things where politicians should have to wear the NASCAR jackets. Okay, so that way we can see
Every
exactly
donor,
who you're-
$100, you got to get a patch.
get a
Yeah,
patch.
here's
You got to be able to read it.
here's your little 1 inch if you've donated this, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, you reached the 1,000 level,
Uh-huh.
you reached the 10,000 level,
Yeah.
and once you reach like the $100 or $1 million level, it should be a tattoo. Like, that's it. Like, congratulations.
Mhm.
My brother used to joke
Yeah.
around that he's
You're now
somewhat
branded.
religious. He's like, everything after you turn 25, you should get a stupid sticker. The bigger the stupidity, the bigger the sticker, and the longer it sticks onto you. And that's how I kind of feel about, donors. The
Yeah.
bigger the donation, the longer that should be stuck to you. So that way we could be like, yo, this is the donation that you took on.
Yeah.
Because as a politician, you can actually turn down donations and return it.
Well, yeah, they act like they're a slave to whoever wants to
Yeah.
send them a check. Yeah, that's not
You
true.
have that option.
Just don't put it in your bank.
So what
Good.
what pillars or background are you running on?
Yeah, I would say that my main plank is going to be truly campaigning for small, minimal government, meaning getting the government pretty much out of our hair completely 100% unless it's absolutely necessary. Government's real purpose is just to kind of protect us, meaning our lives, our property, and then mostly our pocketbook, our tax dollars.
Make sure our tax
it-
dollars are going to, I don't know, police, fire department,
Potholes and
education,
roads.
Gross.
Yeah.
roads,
I mean, it's not
yeah.
that sexy, right? It's
Our infrastructure
Yeah.
that we require to operate on.
Yeah. So when I hear from people saying, this public official or this politician's meeting with so and so about trying to get this done, and it's like, this is part of the problem why we don't get good businesses that come here that might fit your needs is because as an entrepreneur myself, if I look in a community and I see that, oh, the public officials are already meeting with X, Y, and Z person, they've already got this figured out. What that's conveying to me as a potential business, or I want a Greek restaurant, so anybody out there that
Yeah.
wants to set up a Greek
Yeah.
restaurant out here, please put one of those out here. But when they see that they're only meeting with certain people, that's telling them that we're not open for business.
Yeah.
So a level playing field when it comes to the bureaucratic red tape, and most of these candidates will speak out of both sides of their mouth. They'll say exactly what I'm saying because maybe it hits on a reel or people are like, oh, give me some likes on it, and the next minute they're meeting with commercial real estate developers
Mhm.
near our park, our
Yes.
main park,
Yes, I've
and
seen
conveying a
that.
message of wait, are you saying you want to level this, turn it into a strip mall, and then go spend how many decades building a park again from scratch? I'm still waiting in our district. Kellogg Park
Mhm.
has a dog park component, a restroom. Before we even moved out here in 2018, I was hearing about this park in its stages, and they talk about fields and different stuff like that to play in. Why aren't they building it there? And they're talking about destroying
Yeah.
one of our parks.
One of our nicer parks.
Yeah, you got the infrastructure already in place, and you've already promised it.
Yeah.
Sticks. It's the meat and potato stuff that our government's not. And most of my job as a commissioner is pretty much to be a stopgap on the stupidity, because what got me really involved in the commissioner dynamics is reading the backup on the agendas. Even though I work 24 hours a day on call, like I'll set aside that Tuesday when they're having the meeting, and I'll look at some of the backup. And as they're voting on it, as they're deliberating, I'm like, you guys are deliberating based upon what maybe a public official or a department head is telling you what's in the
Mhm.
agenda item or in the proposed bill, and you're not reading it yourself. And this isn't like an 1,100 page thing. These bills usually sometimes these agenda items might only have 3 pages of backup.
Right.
These commissioners that only have to do 2 meetings a month for a decent yearly pay can't even read the backup before the meeting. And I can honestly say none of them are clear. I'm friendly with some of you, probably all of you to an extent, but like you guys dropped the ball. They
Yeah.
dropped the ball. And not only this board, the board that was before it largely as well.
I
They
agree.
weren't doing their due diligence.
I sit on a little tiny board. I sit on a library board. I get my stuff a week ahead, and I am in that like stink on shit.
Yeah, and the unpaid board members like yourself, it seems like a lot of these advisory boards in the library like do a better job than the varsity team up there.
Yeah,
It's
Like I'm elected to lead,
super
not to
disappointing.
read. Like it's just the Simpson quote. It just stuck in my head as soon as you said that. So, what changes would you like to make if elected?
Well, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I've been talking about on the campaign trail, sometimes in many shapes and forms, it's already starting to happen. Like the dump fees, for instance. Like I was adamantly opposed to that from the very beginning when it was on there, and it's like we're just sitting there. Weren't you feeling like, hey guys, pump the brakes here. We don't have to do this right now.
Well,
We don't have to have this as a discussion.
our big question is leading up to it, even the dump we read on our podcast where it was like, this is for commercial
Mhm.
and residents or non-residents. And that
it
was their
changed.
flyer. Then all of a sudden they had another poster board right at the dump that said the same thing. And then all of a sudden they went into implementation and they were like, oh no, it's for everybody.
Yeah.
And then we went through and we were like, well, how are they measuring the cubic feet? Are they going out there with a measuring tape and measuring your entire truck bed? No.
looks
I
like-
guess it's like this.
Yeah.
I guess it's that. And I'm like, why don't we use the scale
Yeah.
and do it to where you go through, here's your ticket, like a coat tag, and you come in and you,
You mean like the scrap guy across the street?
oh yeah. But I guess that is a profitable business due to the factor of that's the reason why they put in the fees is because the dump was running in a red zone or running into the
Yeah.
neg. And I go, yeah. And the reason why is because you don't, but you guys went through and you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna change a lot of stuff and just screw everything up.
Yeah.
Just reminds me of the LT who's running a new deployment plan and didn't look at any of the other ones
Can't read a
anywhere
map.
else.
Listen to where it comes
Mhm.
is.
Yep.
Do you know what happened during that bill too? If you notice, the commissioners were kind of fixating and stemming on the $5 a year, and they were using that. And my opponent in District 5 was pretty much, and regardless of if the government's going to steal $5 from you a year, or $1 or $5,000, it doesn't matter. She went out there and pretty much anybody that was upset about it, if you can't afford $5 a year in your taxes, I feel sorry for you. And it's like,
Oh, no.
that's not even the point, right?
No.
I don't want you to take $5 out of my pocket.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
That's $5 out of my pocket. I already have property taxes that I'm paying towards that.
Right.
And then you're going to be like that.
And I better get $5 of value for you.
Yeah, me and him have already said, like, hey, if it was for residents and they flat feed it, so where it's like, oh, residents, oh, it's a $1 fee.
Yeah.
Here's your $1. Thanks, congratulations. You can dump whatever you need to dump. Awesome, that's fine. Or if they were like, hey, it's $5 for a truck, $5 for a trailer. Here you go. Unless you're commercial, then you have to do that.
Yeah. Maybe an incremental type change
Yeah.
rather than just taking the entire puzzle piece package and just tossing it in the air. And that's what they did.
Well, because that would be like sitting there and being like, every time you go to Smith's, we're going to have to charge you a $1 fee for entrance. And I'd be like,
What is this, Aldi?
what the fuck? Why? No, because all these just,
It
you
gives
get
it- they get
refunded
back
your
for you.
quarter. But then all of a sudden you're going to the dump and you don't know how much it's going to be to go use the dump until you get to the dump. Oh, is it Bob or is it George today?
Right.
Yeah.
And I had that. A guy said he came there with 2 different loads. One time he was charged, I think, $17, and the next time it was like $42 for almost the exact same composition of his load.
All right.
And that's
So-
not right.
I actually
right.
have a question here.
All right.
What are some things that you see District 5 needing? Because obviously you're going to be representing District 5. They're your peeps. What are some needs you see out there?
Yes.
Ex-
Some
And to expand on that,
Yeah.
and Nye County in
In
total.
general, because you're
Right, for
representing
sure.
us.
Well, because he's going to be
but
one
in,
of the voters for it.
in particular in my district, and luckily maybe my neighborhood's not as affected, but the district doesn't end in Burson Ranch and Mountain Falls. It goes further south. So
Just keep going.
yeah.
Where
So,
you hit the brothels, you take
Yeah.
the right, then there's me. I'm 2 streets down from California.
Yeah.
And everyone seems to go when you go,
Some-
yeah, I live in District 5. I live in
First,
South Pahrump.
Yeah, some reprioritization of and the thing is, as a commissioner, you don't have control over the sheriff's office
Right.
budget or their decisions or the fire department. But using that bully pulpit, for lack of a better term, to impress upon them that some of those areas on the far south end, and I guess an argument can be made on the far north end, to be able to have a quicker response, perhaps for service calls and things of that nature.
Oh, like proper staffing would be like, hey, I would like you to have the staffing availability. Like,
Yeah.
even if it was a roulette type thing, like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, 2 extra bodies go down there on
Yeah.
every Tuesday. I'd feel a little bit better about
Yeah,
that.
and it's funny because some of the ideas that I have that I think could really make the community better is a lot of it would be recommendations to the sheriff, whether it's our existing sheriff winning re-election or if it's another one of the opponents. It's like I've got a lot of ideas for them.
Okay,
As far as
communication's key.
as far as our district, I can tell you that, yeah, having a few more options, like there'll be every time I get really hungry, right? It's on a Sunday and I'm thinking, well, what's open? I'm like, oh, Johnny's to go is closed. This place is closed. Like, I don't want to drive into town. That's just a selfish part of me wanting that. But I believe if we eliminate that red tape, if we make regulations clear, if we put out the perception that we are open for business. I mean, business people are selfish, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So key in on that and say, look, there are lots of demanding people out here for, whether it be a medical professional, urgent care facility, another maybe not full-scale grocery store, but one that has some excellent choices that's on the south end.
Give me an Aldi's, give me an Aldi's, give me an Aldi's. I don't need all the choices. I just need
Yeah.
the bare minimum, and Aldi's has the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Even if you wanted to do a mom and pop's type grocery store that wasn't convenience store-esque
Yeah.
or based off of Family Dollar, where all of a sudden they're like, we'll just throw it out there, they'll pay whatever for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, and that's the big key is people like in Las Vegas that might be looking to expand or in Southern California. I don't want them to hop over places like and not think about trying to do something here and say like rural Nevada has as bad of bureaucracy and public officials as Las Vegas does, and that was what a big kick in the pants was for me when I moved out here. I was
That
thinking,
was the motivator.
oh, I'm moving to
That was part of the
I'm moving
motivator,
to
yeah.
and I've always been I guess you call me like I'm a libertarian leaning Republican,
Yeah.
but also very socially conservative. But I also understand that the government shouldn't be policing morality. I think people left to their own devices and freedoms generally make the right decisions. So at the same time, it's like you want good moral people up there. I'm not saying everybody has to be a born again Christian, but you come out here with a certain thought thinking that, oh, at least even if our officials aren't Christian or aren't like super Reagan conservative or something, that they're going to respect us, that they're going to govern differently than Las Vegas does. And it's like it's almost like and not talking about anybody in particular on the board at all, but like we get some of the burnouts that were almost too inept to cut it in a place like Las Vegas, and they run for office out here.
Yeah.
They attach an R next to their name, whether they are or not, and they run for office and they win. And that was a wake up call for me.
I can think of a lot of elected officials that were once in Vegas.
In Vegas, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they came out here, or they rent out here and still live in Vegas. And that's
They have a residence here.
Yeah.
not shooting any shots. I'm not trying to call you.
No,
I'm not trying to do this to you, but you hit that note right on it.
Well,
It just went.
I think a lot of us, I know myself included, moved out here to be left alone.
Yeah.
I want to do.
So I want my government to hurry up and do nothing.
Exactly.
Right? That's my attitude.
Oh no! That's what they do with the potholes. I want them to hurry up and do what they're supposed to be doing.
Yes, that bare minimum
Fixing the infrastructure, making sure that it's still running, making sure that any government contracts
Fires
that they
get put out.
have,
criminals get
they're
caught.
doing what they're supposed to be doing with that. Whether it be the roads, whether it be the fire hydrants, whether it be making sure that we're equally policing around with the sheriff's office, that we're not spread too thin in that aspect.
You just got a shout out from Sherry Marie Smith.
Oh, hey Sherry, thank you.
Because we allow live comments.
Oh,
on the
good.
show, so if anybody
ever puts out a zinger,
Yeah.
a nice question,
Yeah.
keep me on my
That's why we
toes.
have it up.
Yeah. Let them do it.
What else, Jacob?
Well, we ran through the background pillars, changes you'd like to make. What do you see as Nye County's biggest downfall?
Yeah, what's our biggest hurdle right now?
Biggest downfall I think is, and I know as a commissioner I'm representing all of Nye County, but
Right.
one of the biggest detachments I think our government has is, and the reason why you saw these movements for a town board, things like that, were because there was enough people out here that have some discontent that they feel like if they have issues that are pertaining solely to the town of Pahrump, they have to sit through a 6-hour marathon commission meeting,
Oh, where the
2-hour lunch breaks
where
and
the
stuff
i-
before they
the
might get to
agenda
that
item
item.
goes from
So
this was supposed to be talked about in the morning. Now
Yeah.
it's going to be talked about before noon. Now it's
In
after
Omaha.
lunch. Now, hey, it's over here. And hey, now instead of being at the office here in Pahrump, now it's moved up
To
to Tonopah. And then all of a sudden, hey, that's a big item for here because we have the most populace. But we're still going to talk about it up in Tonopah.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean, one of my proposals, and I can't really call this a campaign plank. I mean, but just a good idea that I hope even if I were to not be elected, I hope someone hijacks the idea to make an actual formal open meeting once a month that discusses the town board issues. Have it at night. It could be about an hour and a half long, and you'd be amazed if it's run properly because we have people in this town. I mean, the chairman of the Republican Party, for instance, say anything about him, whether people love him or hate him. He runs an excellent meeting as far as getting to the point, moving things along. There's other people like him out here. Not everybody's like a long-winded politician up there running an open meeting like we see time in and time out.
Yeah, like my library board means they run longer than an hour, I'm unhappy.
Yeah, I mean, if you just keep it simple, everybody pack a bologna and cheese sandwich. You don't need to take an hour and 45-minute lunch break to wait everybody out to then get to the hammer agenda items.
Yeah.
So that's one of the good ideas. I think it's a good idea, and I think nobody in our government really wants to necessarily probably put in an extra work period
Yeah,
at night.
Sherry, if you want to ask a question, shoot your shot.
Uh-oh.
No, I don't believe he's single. I think his missus is right over there. I'm married. I took a shower last night and forgot to put on my wedding band. And your wife is our madam producer. So
That's my ex-girlfriend.
yeah, because you married her.
Yeah.
It's just a sequence.
That's
You
true.
are no longer the girlfriend. You are now the wife.
Yeah.
So Sherry, go ahead and type that question. We'll bring it on the air. One of the things that I was incredibly impressed with, and this is a hot button, and is the whole PA thing.
Yes.
Trying to eliminate that office. I pinged you that night, and you got right back to me.
Mhm.
And I'm still waiting for responses
From other candidates.
actual elected commissioners who are in charge
Yeah.
of this thing.
And
Yeah.
trying to vote on
It's
this thing.
For me, it's a little bit of a PTSD thing too. When I first heard about this, and I can say that I'm friendly with the existing PA, Ginger. I think she's actually a pretty awesome lady. But the idea that they want to strip away the vote of the people to decide in their government to take away your voice and
Right.
choosing who the PA would be is insane to me. And in fact, I wish some of our more high-level bureaucratic spots were elected positions.
exactly.
Not the reverse.
So
Oh,
the
believe
people
me,
have a voice.
I'm just sitting there, and I was like, well, you are talking about the same people who voted these individuals into office that now a lot of us people are in disagreement with because of what they're doing. They said they stood on one platform, and then all of a sudden they got elected, and then they were like, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, we thought that it was, Nye County first, and then it was like, oh no, we said we're for Nye County, voting for Clark. So, and that's where it's one of those things where it's good to hear that your standpoint is,
Yeah.
Nye County, or I should say Nye County, your district, which you're going for is District 5, the south side, dirty south, baby. So, which I would like it to not be so dirty and grimy, but the only way that we're going to do that is if we actually get paved roads, where
Right.
all of a sudden there's just dirt,
Right.
continuing to do the mining or the BLM land, and making sure that we don't have the homeless encampments that turn into fire hazards left and right
Yeah.
out there.
I mean, there's a sensible code enforcement,
Absolutely.
sensible codes, unlike the thing that we're getting rid of, hopefully, the International Property Maintenance Code, which is a gigantic HOA spread
Oh,
across the entire valley. It
I
was,
read the entire thing.
yeah,
One of the reasons why I moved to Pahrump is because I've lived in 2 towns so far that were like HOAs.
Yeah.
And I didn't want it. So when I saw that come up and I was like, oh, they're voting on this, and then I all of a sudden find out that they're not voting on that. They're voting to apply it to the entire county.
yes,
It's already been implemented here for the town.
yeah, for 7+
7+
years.
years.
And
Yeah.
the only, well, it's actually, I do believe, longer than 7 years. The last vote that they had on it was to update it to the newer edition.
That's true. So you're talking probably 10 years before
Yeah.
that.
So
Mhm.
I was like, why did someone do this? And then it occurred to me when all of a sudden they voted on that, but it was supposed to be a frontline issue, and it got moved to the back. And before that, they used that code enforcement to then go through and say delinquent property,
Mhm.
ugly property,
Uh-huh.
this and this and this. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, so you guys use it and then go, we're going to shift it down here. We're going to get rid of it in the future, but you guys are still susceptible to
Yeah.
it right now.
Well, it makes it so you can conveniently target people, just
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
just like
Absolutely.
FISA warrants and things
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. It's if you don't enforce it on anyone, then we're kind of okay. But the minute they start enforcing it selectively on maybe their opponents or people that speak out against them or people that
Mhm.
are thorns in their side, that's where it becomes an issue.
Well,
Is,
it's
is
like
the,
when somebody speaks up and then all of a sudden they start typing their name into a database. Yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly. So we're not going to drive you down that road.
No,
or
no, we
anything
don't
else
get
like that.
them involved in
Or
that.
harassing someone that you have previous.
Hi, how the way are you?
I'm doing
You
good.
good? You good? You good? Let me put my dick on your shoulder.
Yeah, let me just stand here for a quick second and just, I want to talk to you about this.
Oh, jeez. The lovely events of being somewhat investigative journalism.
Yeah, doing that. And, Matt, it's been awesome having you on and
Yeah.
hearing your side of it.
yeah.
We don't. Have we had any other district candidates?
No.
Come on.
Nobody
let's
else
go.
wants to show up. They're scared of us.
Well, I mean, and that's
Between
what-
both races, even?
Huh?
Yeah,
Both
anything.
races? Oh, wow.
between everything.
That's
Yeah,
disappointing.
I understand District 4, District 5, but yeah, we have not had anyone come on
Well,
that's running for that other than you. We've had people going for judge, going for clerk,
Yeah.
PA. We've had all that on there.
the commission
And
candidates
it's
here.
really interesting because
Well, I think we kind of got a bad name of the commission, at least with one of them, because we were the ones that broke the whole cocaine problem at the Nugget, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Sherry, this is your time. Get it out there, because we're getting ready to wrap with Matt.
Yeah.
we're not going to be able to read a paragraph that fast if you're typing that much. I understand if you're pigeon pecking, just can you like just a little bit
I love you,
faster.
Sherry. Dude, don't get me wrong, but
Any question will definitely be,
yeah,
I'll answer it.
if you want to just post it to the link on this, I will make sure it gets to Matt. I'll copy him
Yeah.
because he's a Facebook friend of mine, and I know he's
And I'll
tagged.
take a poll on answering to see
Yeah.
what the best answer is, and
Yeah,
I'll get
there you
back to you,
go.
Sherry.
Just send it out to your political consultant.
Yeah, I'll ask one of the sitting commissioners how I should respond to
They
it.
just,
That's one of
Before I
the
get
reasons
back to you.
That's one of the reasons why I'm really happy that you came into this blind nil. We've had other people who sat there and asked all of our list of questions before they.
Oh, they
would
wanted to
read.
know
They
what
wanted to
exactly
know.
what you're
Yeah.
going to be asked.
And I mean, like, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Who-
It's literally,
who are you?
What position are you running for?
Yeah.
Have you held any other similar positions? Qualifications for positions, background, pillars you're running on, changes you would like to make. What's Nye County's biggest downfall? Where do you see the future of Pahrump in Nye County?
Yeah.
What's your plan to get us to the future?
That's harmless. That's
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Those
like a debate at a library, super simple,
Exactly.
senior center debate questions.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We
I like
These are
it.
the questions that people ask because I
Yeah.
literally
That's what they
call
wanna know.
people in here like, hey, what do you want to know about the candidates? And
Yeah.
they're like,
This.
this. All right. And somebody threw the curveball of, what do you see Nye County's biggest downfall? And that can be a curveball.
Yeah.
Because you have to look at what is ugly about Nye County,
Mhm.
what is ugly about Pahrump, and
Oh, hang on. Oh, no, never mind.
And I didn't want to be too eager because when you asked that question along that line, it's like I don't want to have like 10 different
Right.
items I'm throwing out there, and all of a sudden people are like, well, why do you even like it here?
Yeah, exactly. Why
You're
are
in
you
this
here?
town.
Wait,
But there
Wait.
are definitely some huge problems, and I touched on it in the beginning too.
Yeah.
you can look at the Nextdoor app, and I guarantee
Oh, big funny complaint.
it is the next to complaint. Like it is the
Oh, yeah.
complaint box office. Number one complaint. Why don't we have bigger grocery stores? Smith's can't serve us all. And I don't want to go to Walmart. Second one. Potholes, potholes, potholes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
We don't
wow.
need, we don't need the umpteenth Mexican restaurant
Or gas station.
or gas station. The traffic pattern going
Yeah,
to the gas
horrible
station.
entry exit plans.
And of course, you will have to deal with Mountain Falls area, correct? Because that's
Yes.
part of your district.
Oh, for sure.
And I saw the number one complaint. Why is it so noisy? I would have never bought this house if I would have known the racetrack
Yeah.
sounded like that.
Yeah.
And I'm going, I grew up listening to like dirt tracks and stuff like that. And I was like, you think this is noisy? When we first moved in, the dirt track was still open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved always going up to Walmart and being able to hear that dirt track. And I was like, one of these days when the kids are a little bit older, we'll go. And then, of course, unfortunately, it closed down.
Close
Yeah.
down.
I grew up.
Yeah.
Number 2 complaint in Mountain Falls, which is, why is this person walking their dog and not picking up after it?
Yes, true.
True.
Yeah, I
True.
grew up in the air circle for
Yes.
John Wayne International. So I had planes flying over at all hours of the day, and low altitude.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. No.
Yeah. So, well, thank you very much
Matt,
for coming on.
we
Thank you.
appreciate
Anything
you.
to say?
No, I mean,
No
anybody
questions
wants to
came
learn
through?
more about the campaign? Yeah, visit voteMattSadler.com. You can learn a lot more about my campaign that way. Otherwise, I try to be as available in the public as possible. I'm going to be at the car show this Saturday over at Coyote's Den, and then after that,
That's a good
a
question.
little, I guess I call it an impromptu candidate meetup with the firefighters union and the deputies union folks put it on Emory. I was never approached by it, but they say all candidates are invited, so
Okay, well, there you go.
crashing that barbecue.
Cool. Get her done. All right, Matt, we appreciate you. Thank you for being on again.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate you.
All right.
Seriously.
Miss Amy?
Once again, ladies and gentlemen,
That was
that was Matt Sadler running for District 5
There you go.
Commissioner.
Dang, dude, what is this, strip club?
Hey, I like that.
That's strip club voice.